Hello there, and it's Ryan from Growthable here. If you're watching this video, it's because you want the snapshot that I've created, which is intended for SaaS plan go high level users, meaning you are using the SaaS configurator, essentially having one or multiple SaaS products, and regardless of whether or not you apply a snapshot or not, at the time of purchase, it won't make a difference. So the first thing is identifying where your customers are through their checking out process. So you would apply this snapshot into the sub account that you run as your main business. Um, you need to go into that workflow to correctly identify which products are being purchased. So go and update them there. We're going to run through this little bit of configuration in a minute. The other thing in there is a helpful onboarding library of information. There's white labeled videos, step by step, sort of like maybe 5 or 6 lessons which cover off the integrations of Google, Instagram, Facebook, Stripe, and then Zoom, which is a large part of what most users just need to get connected, and it saves you doing it. In addition, there's written instructions that give more detail and more resources into the other systems that they might need to create. Um, at the time of recording this, High Level updated the way in which you can connect DNS. And now, for different services, DNS can happen automatically. So the user experience is so much more end user friendly that I decided to remove any DNS lessons out. I do kind of believe that needs to be a conversation with the agency and the end user, because they might not want to use their own domain. You might be pushing out your own DNS, and it's just one of those things that it just depends, right? And it's not applicable to kind of everyone. So strap in. This is going to be one part collecting and tagging information when people buy your SaaS product, organizing that information, 2, setting them onboarding guides. And then the third part is tracking their onboarding as it relates to how they're integrated and, how engaged they are with the course, right? And then you can kind of get a feel for who's doing what. So, next video is me running through some of the configuration. Also, there's gamification baked into this, so you'll find out, right? Which is kind of just like some psychology into how to further enrich the user's experience when they first sign up. So let's dive in. Okay, so once you've got the snapshot called Growthable Snapshot installed into whichever sub account you're going to install it into, and I'll just show you, this is directly in the snapshot. So the snapshot, first and foremost, is going to try and tag whatever you've built in SaaS Configurator. Those products ideally are going to be linked to different pages of a funnel. So if we go to automation, one of the first things you want to do is go down to our onboarding. And new SaaS customer onboarding is the first one in the list that you want to work with here. So what you want to do is, someone has bought, as an order that was submitted somewhere in one of your funnels, your SaaS product. So you'll need to configure this to whatever you've got yours set to. Most people have, 3 plans: basic, advanced, and premium. At the time of recording this, High Level just released a new SaaS configurator in beta, which gives you so much more flexibility on products and plans. But nice. And generally you might really restrict what's available in basic versus advanced versus premium. So the idea here is that I've given you the basics of what everyone needs to connect and put that in a course. So you would give everyone the base course, and then depending on what you're doing, your vertical, your niche, your audience, whatever, go and create another course that is specific to what they can achieve with your system and configuration, so that you have a mix of the white label stuff and the very specific stuff. If in basic, you don't have access to a bunch of stuff and you've recorded videos or guides, have a basic version, an advanced version, a premium version. Or you just grant the same course if it makes no difference. So they check out which plan did they buy, need to make sure that these products exist as part of the product selection. And then it's going to grant the offer and it's going to tag the basic plan. That's all we want to do here, but we're granting access to the course. Once they get access to that course, the course looks like this. So if we go to memberships and products, you want to come into the onboarding course and you want to try and customize various elements. First things first, it's kind of like change location.name to your company name, change the thumbnail, do whatever you like, add in chat. And if you look at the outline and we preview this course, you'll see, things like the instructor needs to be updated to you, the logo needs to be updated to you, any other configurations, right? And then we've got 7 lessons currently. So we've got a welcome aboard, get the mobile app, one of the first things you should always do, integrating Google My Business or Google, Facebook and Instagram, the DM configuration for Instagram that is super annoying, my profile calendar and online meetings, essentially talking about connecting Zoom, and lastly, connecting Stripe. So we want to put people through this course. And what we're then going to do is we're going to track where they're up to. So look at onboarding. We've tagged customers with the right tag for which product they ended up buying. And now you look at, if someone starts the lessons, we just need to make sure that these lessons make sense. So if someone completes the first lesson, welcome aboard, then we're going to add a 1 into a custom field called last onboarding lesson completed. When they start going through and completing those, it's just going to give you a really good indication of who's done what. The way to do that is to bring in the column, which is one of the custom fields, and I can bring in a field called last onboarding lesson, and I can bring in a field which is also being updated around the subscription payment status, and you might have something like the SaaS active plan. And so what this is kind of giving you is an idea of, if you've got clients in here that are actual clients, which plan are they on? Because that's going to be updated in the other automation. Did they last make a payment? How much was it for? And did they ever complete an onboarding session? Then I've also got failed payments here, which would list anyone that has missed a subscription, and they're going to appear here in the failed payments. So easy way to identify who needs to be sent an email saying payment method was declined, needs to be updated. So a really easy way of managing, first, who's bought what on your SaaS plans, who's going through the onboarding tasks at least themselves and completing those lessons, who's not, and who's paying. So when we combine all those 3 things, we're well on the way to having a lot of control and insight into our SaaS customers. Is the email notifications that go out when someone does complete a lesson. So if you look at marketing and then you go to your email templates, there's going to be a bunch of templates here. And you've got the master template, and then you've got lessons 1 through 7. Now, what do these look like? So, for instance, lesson, say, 2 would look like this. And just notice the typo. So you update your logo, and then every time they do a lesson, there's 7 lessons, they'll say, your however many percentage through your onboarding. If you just preview that, you get this little progress bar, which is 28% of the way through. And it'll talk about this. And there's a few things here, like, you need to change the footers to be your company name. There's some login links and things like that need to be updated to make sure that they're all yours. So, yeah, a few things to do just in the email builder here, just to make sure that it's all your brand. But what we optionally suggest is, if you've got an onboarding team, you're always asking them to, talk to live chat or to book a time with your onboarding clients. For instance, Growthable run onboarding services, right? So that would be a link to our team or whatever. But this is, one part psychological, right? Letting them know that they've gotten through a percentage of the onboarding, but also, trying to kind of encourage that they take the next step as well. So driving them back, getting them to log in. So this is the gamification kind of section of it, which is, it feels, like I'm completing levels of a game to, incentivize the completion of doing the thing that I should be doing, which is connecting all those systems.